You love your dog. That part is obvious, at least from your side. You provide everything they need. Food, walks, veterinary care, warmth, company, belly rubs on demand. You talk to them when no one else is listening. You rearrange your schedule around their needs. You choose them first in a dozen small ways every day without even thinking about it. But here's the question that quietly follows most dog owners around. Do they actually know? Not know in a vague background noise kind of way. Do they feel it specifically, the way it's meant? Does the bond go both ways? Not just from you to them, but from them back to you in a way that's real and not just projection. It's a question that people often dismiss as sentimental. Dogs feel certain things, we know that now. They have attachments, they form bonds. But feeling love, knowing that you're loved, that seems like it might require a kind of inner life we're not sure they have. Here's what we do know. Dogs who are treated with consistent care and respect don't just tolerate their owners. They orient around them. They use them as anchors. They express in the behavioral language of their species something that looks functionally identical to security, contentment, and deep affiliation. The signs are everywhere. Most owners just don't know what to look for, and once you do, you'll never wonder again. Here are 7 of the clearest ones. 1. They rest in completely exposed positions near you. This one is happening in your home right now if your dog has a secure bond with you and you're probably walking past it without noticing. Watch where your dog sleeps and how they position their body when they sleep near you. A dog who feels unsafe, genuinely uncertain about their environment or about the people in it, doesn't sleep with their belly up and their legs in the air. They sleep curled, protected, facing toward perceived threat, with the most vulnerable parts of their body covered. That compact, self-protective posture is a dog who hasn't fully lowered their guard. A dog who stretches out on their back, belly fully exposed, in the middle of the floor or on the couch while you're in the room, that dog has decided that the environment is safe. Not just safe in general, but safe specifically here, in this space, near this person. The fact that they choose to be in this position near you is not coincidence. It's attribution. You are the reason this place feels safe enough for that level of vulnerability. The exposed sleeping position, in behavioral terms, is the equivalent of a dog saying, "I don't need to protect myself here. I have let my guard down completely." And the fact that they do it near you is the most direct way they can show that the feeling of safety they're experiencing is connected to your presence. Next time you see your dog sprawled on their back with their feet in the air, don't just think cute. Think, they know they're safe. They've decided this is where safety lives, and you're the reason. 2. They check in with you when exploring or on walks. This behavior is so common that most owners stop noticing it, but it is one of the clearest behavioral expressions of attachment available. When you're on a walk or in a new environment, watch your dog's behavior in relation to your position. A truly bonded dog doesn't just charge ahead and never look back. They move out, explore, take in the environment, and then periodically pause, look back at you, make eye contact, and continue. Sometimes they come all the way back to you before going again. They're not checking whether you're following in an anxious way. They're doing something more active than that. They're maintaining the connection while they explore. This behavior has a name in developmental psychology: secure base behavior. It's observed in human infants who use a trusted caregiver as a safe base from which to explore a new environment, moving out, checking back, using the secure figure as an anchor for their confidence. The same pattern has been documented in dogs. When the owner is present and visible, dogs explore more widely and with more confidence. When the owner is absent or unavailable, exploration becomes more restricted and stress indicators rise. So when your dog turns to look at you mid-walk, or circles back to touch base before heading off again, they are showing you something precise. You are their safe base. They explore the world with you as their anchor, and they keep you in sight because losing sight of you matters to them. That is not just attachment. That is the direct behavioral expression of knowing that you are important, that you are the center around which their experience is organized. 3. They bring you things. even things they shouldn't have. The dog who arrives at your feet with a toy, a ball, a stick, or even a sock they stole from the laundry is doing something that is both practically motivated and socially expressive. On the practical side, yes, they often want to play. The toy is an invitation. Here is the thing that makes good things happen. Let's do the thing. But the social dimension of the behavior goes deeper than the practical one. In natural settings, resource sharing among dogs is not random. Dogs share with members of their social group, with individuals they affiliate with, trust, and choose to spend time near. The act of bringing a valuable resource, and for most dogs, a toy is a valued item, to another individual and offering it without immediately demanding it back is a social gesture. It's inclusion. It's saying, I choose you for this. You're the one I want to interact with using this object. Dogs who bring things to their owners have made a social choice that is often underappreciated. They could chew the toy alone. They could ignore you. They chose to walk it over to you, to drop it at your feet or in your lap, to wait and see what you do with it. That waiting is itself revealing. There is an expectation in the gesture, a hope for engagement, and that expectation is directed at you specifically. So every time your dog brings you something, however mundane it seems, however many times it's the same tennis ball, they are telling you something real. You are the one they want to include in their world. They know something good happens when they bring it to you, and you are the person they associate that good feeling with. Subscribe if this is changing how you see your dog's everyday behavior, because the next signs are the ones most owners find most surprising. 4. They lean against you and stay there. Leaning is quiet. It doesn't look like much from the outside. A dog pressing their weight into your leg or sitting against your foot or resting their side on yours. It's not dramatic. It doesn't ask for anything explicitly. It just happens. But it is one of the more precise social signals in the dog's behavioral repertoire. Physical contact in dogs is not something distributed freely or without meaning. Dogs in a resting group do press against each other, but they do it with individuals they've chosen. They don't press against every dog they encounter. The leaning toward and resting against specific individuals is a proximity behavior, and it's associated in the literature with bonding, comfort-seeking, and affiliative behavior. When your dog leans against you, two things are happening simultaneously. First, they are seeking the physical experience of your presence, the warmth, the solidity, the smell that their nervous system has coded as safe. Second, they are choosing you as the being whose presence provides that experience. Not another dog in the house, not the couch, you. There's also a physiological component. Physical contact with a bonded individual reduces cortisol in mammals. The lean is not just social behavior, it's self-regulation. Your dog is using your presence through physical contact to feel calmer, more settled, more secure. And the fact that they turn to you for this, rather than to any other available resource, is the sign. They know that you are the thing that makes them feel most okay. That knowledge is what you call love when it shows up in a dog. 5. The way they greet you and what that greeting actually contains. Of all the signs on this list, the greeting is the one most people already recognize as meaningful. But there's a layer inside it that most owners miss. There's a version of the greeting that is resource motivated. I hear the sounds that precede feeding or walking, and I'm alert and positioned to receive those things. This looks like interest at the food bowl, not an emotional reunion. And then there's the version that looks different. The dog who has a toy in their mouth when you arrive, not because they want to play fetch immediately, but because having the toy addresses the overwhelming excitement of the moment. They need to do something with their mouth because the feeling is too big to contain. The dog who runs to you and just stays close, not immediately redirecting to the food bowl or the leash, but simply being near you because near you is the point. The dog whose whole body changes when you walk in the door, whose tail movement involves their entire hindquarters, who makes soft vocalizations that aren't demand barks, but seem almost like exclamations of relief. This version of the greeting is an emotional event. Something that had been absent, you, has returned. And the dog's attachment system is responding to that return in the way attachment systems respond to reunions, with relief, with joy, with a release of the low-level holding on that comes with waiting for someone important to come back. When your dog greets you like this, they are telling you, I noticed you were gone. I noticed you came back, and the return of you is one of the significant events in my day. 6. They relax when you're present and tighten when you're about to leave. This sign is paired, and you have to watch both sides of it to fully understand what it means. When you're home and settled, when you've been sitting in one place for a while, when the household energy is calm, what does your dog's body look like? If they're stretched out, breathing slowly, relaxed in their posture, sleeping at their ease near you, that is a dog whose nervous system has decided the environment is regulated. And in many cases, the regulating variable is you. Your presence at home, settled and available, produces a kind of physiological ease in your dog that is real and measurable. Now watch what happens in the 20 minutes before you leave. You pick up your keys, you change your shoes, you put on a coat. The energy in the room changes slightly. And your dog, who was perfectly relaxed 30 minutes ago, begins to orient differently. They may get up, they may follow you, they may sit near the door. Some dogs become visibly anxious. This is not manipulation. It's not a trained response designed to make you feel guilty. It is the direct behavioral expression of a dog who has learned that these specific cues predict your absence, and whose attachment system responds to predicted absence the same way it responds to actual absence. The thing they were regulating around is about to disappear. The contrast, relaxed when you're present, unsettled when you're leaving, is one of the clearest available demonstrations that your presence functions as an anchor for them. They don't just prefer you, they are physiologically different when you're there versus when you're not. And that difference, read in both directions, is what it looks like when a dog knows they are loved. 7. They look at you and hold it gently. This one is easy to miss because it looks so small. A glance across the room, a pair of eyes resting on you softly for a few seconds before looking away. But consider what that gaze involves, in dog social terms. Sustained eye contact between unfamiliar or non-affiliated dogs is a challenge. It's confrontational. It carries threat. Dogs who are uncertain with each other avoid prolonged eye contact as a de-escalation gesture. The gaze is protected, guarded, pointed away. Between bonded individuals, dogs who trust each other deeply or dogs who trust their owners, the same gaze becomes something entirely different. Soft, unfocused, lingering without tension. Not demanding anything, not threatening anything, just present. Research has found that when owners and their dogs engage in mutual eye contact, both species show elevated oxytocin, the hormone associated with bonding, trust, and affiliation. This response is specific to the owner-dog relationship. Strangers do not produce it. Other dogs do not produce it at the same level. The mutual gaze between a dog and their person is neurochemically distinct from any other gaze. When your dog looks at you from across the room with soft eyes, not asking for food, not about to bark, not signaling distress, they are doing something that requires, at a neurological level, feeling safe enough with you to be in that quality of contact. They are, in the most literal sense available to the biology of their species, looking at you the way you look at someone you love. You don't need them to say it in words. You need to recognize it when it happens. And once you know what it looks like, you'll see it everywhere. In the morning, when they watch you make coffee. In the evening, when they find you across a room. In the quiet moments of every ordinary day when they simply choose to look at you. That is your dog telling you, I know I am safe with you. I know you are mine. And I choose to look at you because looking at you is, in my language, one of the ways I love you. Subscribe if you want to keep learning what your dog is really saying, in every behavior, every position, and every quiet look. Once you know the language, you'll never stop seeing it.